Here are some lesser known facts about Steve Jobs and Apple. Adoption. And biological sister, Steve Jobs, was adopted at birth by Paul and Clara Jobs. He discovered his biological sister, Mona Simpson, in 1986, and they developed a close relationship. Fruitarian diet. During his early years, Steve Jobs followed a fruitarian diet, which involved eating only fruits, nuts, and seeds. This strict dietary choice reflected his interest in simplicity and minimalism. Calligraphy influence. Steve Jobs credited a calligraphy course he audited at Reed College as a major influence on the typography and design of Apple products. This attention to detail and aesthetic appeal became a hallmark of Apple's products. Pixar Animation Studios. After leaving Apple in 1985, Steve Jobs acquired the computer graphics division of Lucasfilm, which eventually became Pixar Animation Studios. The studio went on to produce groundbreaking films like Toy Story, Finding Nemo, and The Incredibles. Annual salary of $1. When Steve Jobs returned to Apple in 1997, he famously took an annual salary of $1. This symbolic gesture demonstrated his commitment to the company and his focus on long-term success rather than immediate financial gain. Secret Apple Watch development. Even before the iPhone was released, Steve Jobs had envisioned a wearable device. In 2004, Apple secretly developed a prototype for a wristwatch-like device called Gizmo, which laid the groundwork for the development of the Apple Watch years later. Vegan shoe collaboration. In 2019, it was revealed that Steve Jobs had collaborated with a shoe company called the Mountain Valley to design a line of vegan shoes. The collaboration aimed to create a minimalist, eco-friendly shoe inspired by Steve Jobs' signature style. Think Different campaign. Apple's iconic Think Different advertising campaign, which celebrated innovators and visionaries, featured a narration by Richard Dreyfuss. However, Steve Jobs himself recorded a version of the narration that was never released publicly, but circulated within Apple. Private jet with no license plate. Steve Jobs owned a private jet, a Gulfstream 5, which had no license plate. According to aviation rules, at the time, aircraft did not require license plates, so Jobs took advantage of this loophole. Apple Campus 2. Apple's new headquarters, known as Apple Park or Apple Campus 2, was a pet project of Steve Jobs. He was directly involved in its design and had a vision for a futuristic, energy-efficient, and highly collaborative workspace. These lesser-known facts shed light on some interesting aspects of Steve Jobs' life and his impact on Apple. They illustrate his unique personality, innovative thinking, and attention to detail that contributed to the success and cultural influence of both Steve Jobs and Apple. The success story of Apple is a remarkable journey of innovation, perseverance, and visionary leadership. Here is an overview of Apple's rise to prominence. Early days. Apple Inc. was founded by Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and Ronald Wayne in 1976. Their initial product, the Apple I, was a computer kit that paved the way for personal computing. The release of the Apple II in 1977 brought commercial success, making Apple a key player in the emerging computer industry. Macintosh revolution. In 1984, Apple launched the Macintosh, a groundbreaking computer with a graphical user interface and a mouse. This product redefined the way people interacted with computers and set the stage for Apple's reputation as an innovator. Turbulent times. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, Apple faced challenges with leadership changes, internal conflicts, and declining market share. This period saw Steve Jobs' departure from the company in 1985, followed by his return in 1997. Renaissance under Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs became the CEO of Apple. Upon his return, and under his leadership, the company underwent a remarkable transformation. Jobs focused on simplicity, design, and user experience, launching products like the iMac 1998 and the MacBook 2006, which revitalized Apple's image and market position. The iPod era. In 2001, Apple introduced the iPod, a portable music player that revolutionized the way people listen to music. With its sleek design, intuitive interface, and the iTunes Store, Apple dominated the digital music market and paved the way for future successes. iPhone revolution. The introduction of the iPhone in 2007 was a game changer for the entire mobile industry. Apple combined a mobile phone, an iPod, and an internet communication device into a single revolutionary device. The iPhone's touch interface, App Store, and seamless integration with other Apple products propelled it to become a global phenomenon. iPad and beyond. In 2010, Apple unveiled the iPad, a tablet that redefined the market and created a new category of devices. The iPad's intuitive touch interface and expansive ecosystem of apps made it a massive success, solidifying Apple's position as a leader in consumer technology. Ongoing innovations. Apple continued to innovate, with subsequent releases of the iPhone, iPad, Mac, and other products. Notable advancements included the introduction of Face ID, Apple Watch, AirPods, and the transition to Apple Silicon, which further enhanced performance and user experience. Services and ecosystem. In recent years, Apple has expanded its focus on services like Apple Music, Apple TV Plus, Apple Arcade, and Apple Fitness Plus. These offerings, combined with the integration of its devices and the iCloud ecosystem, have created a seamless user experience and generated significant revenue streams. Financial success. Apple's success is evident in its financial performance. It became the first publicly traded U.S. company to reach a market capitalization of $1 trillion in 2018 and has maintained its position as one of the world's most valuable companies. Apple's success can be attributed to its commitment to innovation, user-centric design, and creating a cohesive ecosystem of hardware, software, and services. The company's ability to anticipate consumer needs, deliver products that blend technology and artistry, and create a strong brand identity, has made it an influential force in the tech industry and a beloved brand worldwide.